an initial inquiry by a community member. Originally, she posed, I think, as one individual, about 49 objections in the form of a spreadsheet to some books. And what happened is she ended up submitting the completed request for the challenge. She submitted 24 at one time.
In 2022, concerned community member Michelle Teague asked the Catawba County School Board to remove 24 books from the school's district libraries.
I'm not trying to ban books, but what I am trying to express is that I do have a opposition, or as that I feel that these books are not appropriate for the age of the children or the kids that that's reading these books.
We first began to see an increase in book challenges in the fall of 2020. Totally unexpected. We'd gone from a situation where we were hearing from 1 or 2 schools or libraries a week to getting 4 or 5 reports per day.
These books, as well as many others, are being challenged in libraries across the country. According to the American Library Association, just last year, over 9,000 books were challenged. Many address topics such as sexual orientation, LGBTQIA+, and transgender stories, as well as Black and Brown lives stories.
What we're seeing concerns about is material they deem sexually explicit or inappropriate for young people to view. And this incorporates materials that are written for and designed for younger readers that address sex education or gender identity, sexual orientation. We're also seeing a good number of complaints that works that deal with race, racism, the experiences and lives of African American persons is critical race theory. That's a phrase that was co-opted by a number of advocacy groups to describe works that deal with those issues from perspectives they don't agree with.
Challenges can come from community members, parents, or activists, leaving school board members with the difficult task of reviewing and ruling on these challenges.
If we use it like before the book actually gets in or before it's actually ordered,
It doesn't matter.
and still check it, can we check it?
I think it's putting a bad light on board members when we didn't pick the books. We're just dealing with the aftermath of who picked the books. We didn't know they were there. You have a board who's listening intently and writing a policy and continually evaluating that policy, listening to the community, listening to educators, going through the process with our attorneys, trying to make sure that we're not breaking any Supreme Court rulings. People don't understand sometimes. It's not as easy. You just don't go in and pull a book. It's not that easy.
Some Catawba School Board members, like Teague, contend that the process for challenging and ultimately removing books from libraries should be more streamlined.
The actual process of which you have to try to look at these books, they do have a red flag process for the parents. But as far as that goes, I consider that just a Band-Aid. It is so hard to get those books out because the process is involved.
But fellow board member Jeff Taylor cautions against widespread bans, challenging Catawba County residents to consider the implications these actions could have.
I have talked to a lot of parents and just asked them how they feel about the issues, and they don't know what I'm talking about. They're too busy raising their kids and doing all the other things. This is not an issue that moves the needle for them. And I think if we become known as a community that becomes, overly aggressive at trying to censor material, it has the potential to turn people off as they consider a place to come and live, work, spend their money, do all sorts of things that Catawba County is becoming very, very vibrant. I don't want to damage this county's reputation.